Hello, my name is Brittany Miranda, and this is my week 2 journal. First, we will be going over the caregiving practices. I believe that the mother and I have very similar caregiving practices. The mother said that she will hold her child until she is done crying when she's feeling emotional. I feel like I'm willing to do the same for the child as long as the child is comfortable and feels safe doing that with me. The mother didn't state that she talks to the children, but when I'm trying to make a child feel better, I will talk to them, try to explain to them that it's okay to feel these emotions. And so, yeah. When it comes to role of language, I feel like the mother and I are very different when it comes to language. She's very eager for her child to start speaking English, and she doesn't want us speaking to her in English. She feels like as if her child is falling behind due to not speaking English. And I believe that children should be able to speak whatever language they feel comfortable speaking and confident speaking. Language is something that makes a person who they are. And this is how some children just love expressing themselves in their mother tongue. Being someone who used to be embarrassed of speaking Spanish, I want to be the reason a child is proud to speak Spanish or their native language. I want them to feel powerful and feel special for knowing a different language, because not many do. When it comes to discipline, I feel like the mother and I could be very similar, but then no. She just kind of expects her children to behave a certain way, so she doesn't really have to discipline them. For me, I feel like when you discipline a child or showing discipline, you give them an explanation on why these things are the right way to do it and why certain things are not the right way to do it. It's all a learning process to me. When it comes to independence and interdependence, the child is very independent from what I have noticed, and it seems like the mom loves to make her independent and show her how to do things. That's something that I love to introduce into my classroom. I always want my students to try something new by themselves first, even though they might struggle, and then I will come help them. I feel like they learn faster instead of just assuming they don't know how to do something. For example, like opening up their yogurt. They're like, I can't do it. I'm like, just try, and I will motion it towards them. And then when they get it, they're really happy. Learning and development. The mother seems to think that learning is all about worksheets and doing things on the board, which is where I believe we are very different, because I think children learn through play, and especially at a young age as preschool and pre-K, I feel like I do a lot of games and activities that are really fun that don't seem like learning, and I want her to understand, like, we can learn and encourage learning in a fun way. It doesn't have to be paperwork all the time. When it comes to communication with adults, the mother expects the child to be very formal with the adults, and that's just something I don't agree, because it just takes away from the child being themselves within the classroom since she's surrounded by adults. I want children to be able to express themselves and be who they want to be, but obviously while respecting the teachers as well. I believe that some of my perspectives with the family are very similar due to our cultural background. Like, for example, like the independence. The family is really eager for their children to be independent and to do things on their own, which is something that I'm a believer in. I believe that children should be very independent and not always depend on others to do things for them, or just assume they don't know how to do things. When it comes to the huge differences, I would say that the language would be the one I would think we both have very different, because they want to push English into their child. They want her to know English. They want her to fit in. They don't want her to fall behind. But I'm very different. I feel like the longer the child wants to speak their native language, the better. She's not going to fall behind, I don't believe, due to the language barrier. But yeah. I honestly don't see the differences impacting mine and the family's relationship or working within the classroom. I feel like we could both help each other out and figure out a solution to both educate me and the parents on the education system.